Hello, and welcome back to another video. My name is Brandon Tobias. It's an honor to have you here on this channel. This channel is all about helping you step into your greatest life possible in the areas of health, in the areas of wealth, and the areas of true love with the magic of the esoteric sciences such as tarot and astrology. So welcome to this channel. If you want more content just like this, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you're fired up, and let's get into the content of today's video, which is helping you discover your true career, your ideal career choice with the magic of astrology. If you don't have your chart already, go to Cafe Astrology, go to astro.com, get a free chart, get your birth time, get your chart, get it in front of you. Or the application that I'm using is called Ephemeris. You can find it on the App Store, I believe. And it's awesome, okay? If you are really looking to learn astrology and you want to be able to put in different birth charts and do some cool analysis and have a really cool presentation here, Ephemeris is the way to go, okay? So, all that being said, today we are taking another one of my clients, former clients, randomly, okay? We've blanked out the name, and this person is anonymous, but this person is a male, okay? So we're taking a male chart today. I have not looked at this chart extensively before this video. My whole goal is to go into this relatively blind and just kind of go through how I would normally read a chart so you can get an idea of how to look at your own chart and assess what your ideal career circumstances are and energy around your career. So let's go ahead and get into it and see what specifically I'm looking for when I'm looking at a client's chart when it comes to their career and how you can do the same for you. So in one of our last videos, we talked about South Node, North Node. That's a part of your soul's destiny, who you are, what your strengths are. Go check out that video, how to find your purpose. That's great. This is specifically around work life and career life. So the areas we're going to look at specifically are the 10th house, okay? We're going to look at the 6th house. So 6th house is around service, the place where you are basically kind of giving your energy, contributing your energy from a place of service for the sake of something larger than yourself, okay? Where you're not necessarily on the forefront or you're in the leadership position, you're kind of behind the scenes, but you're working, right? It's your everyday circumstances as well. It's the house ruled by Virgo, okay? So very good house of work to look at. 10th house is your public career / your public legacy, okay? What you're here ultimately to live out in this human experience in terms of your career and to be remembered for ultimately. So this is your legend. What is your legend that you're giving to the world? How are you also going to be viewed in the public eye specifically for what you are? Okay, that's 10th house. Other areas we can look, 2nd house, because 2nd house is direct day-to-day income. So we can check out 2nd house as well and see what energies are there. Also 1st house, because that's how we show up in the world. Okay, so the houses to look at and examine, there's lots of them when it comes to career. You can see it's not just one house. People think, oh, it's just one house. It's not. So 10th house, 6th house, 1st house, and 2nd house. Okay. And then I also sometimes, especially if it's a strong house in the person's chart, the 9th house as well. Because 9th house is basically, wisdom you've gained from your experience, either in foreign lands or the ways in which you are a natural teacher or demonstrator. Okay, so I also check 9th house occasionally. This person's chart, actually, I would definitely refer to the 9th house because this person has a south node there and some important planets, including the moon. So we'll check that out first. So how would I go about this? So first of all, I'm going to look at those houses in this person's chart. So I see 10th and 9th are strong points for him. Okay, he's got Chiron in the 10th in Leo. He's got a lot of fortune here also in the 10th in Leo. Okay, for those of you guys who don't know, this little X, it's called plot of fortune. And this is a point in astrology. It's not an actual planet, but it's a calculational point based on the position of different planets. I forget which ones at this point in time. I think it's between the sun and the moon or the vertex or something like that. But it's essentially where you can make the most amount of money or abundance, okay? The easiest, okay? So right off the bat, I can see this person definitely will be in the public eye. Like, without a doubt, this person's career, right? Because 9th and 10th house, they're going to be demonstrating some sort of art in the public eye for sure, okay? It doesn't have to be an art. The reason I say art, though, is because something about with, Gemini with Cancer here, the combination between Juno, South Node, Mars, and the Moon and Cancer, right? It's kind of like some type of emotional portrayal, right? Emotional inner portrayal or art. I'm just getting that word channeled to me for some reason. A lot of fortune with Leo and Chiron here. So this person definitely is meant to be in the public eye and meant to actually bring out his inner emotions within the public eye, or express or get others to express or feel their emotions within and from the public eye. All right, you see? So right off the bat, okay, what I want to talk about too for a second is, well, you might be asking, okay, is this really possible to hone in a specific career? And what I'll say is, it's about context clues. Astrology is about context clues. Can astrology tell you if you're meant to be a carpenter specifically? No, not necessarily. Some people in Vedic astrology, I think they tie in certain career fields with certain houses specifically. The way I read astrology, I read it through energy, so I don't do that. I basically take the context clues and apply it to modern society, because astrology is permanent, essentially. Like the themes, the learnings, this is all set for thousands of years and many different societies, right? So society is changing, but astrology, the science of astrology, stays the same. So you'd have to apply the career choice, right, amongst a bunch of different societies, if you were going to look at it like that. So that's why I do that. Leave astrology the same, but apply it to our modern situation. So in this modern context that we look at astrology, we would say maybe this person could be a good actor. Okay, maybe this person could be a good actor, or could star in commercials that bring out some emotional truth, okay, that are relevant or have a flair or artistic in some way, okay, that allow him to bring his inner joy and or expertise out to the world. That's what I would initially assess. Okay. The other part of this is we're always going to attempt to look at the ruling planet of the houses in question. Okay? So the first thing I would advise this person is, you are meant to be pursuing or receiving some career in the public eye where you are demonstrating some type of emotional sentience, right? And expression to the world from within to without. Also, it could do with empowerment or motivation too, and love, because Juno's here. Okay? And or your expertise in those areas, but we'll get to that in a second. Okay, so then we look at the ruling planets. I'm going to look at the ruling planet of the 10th first, and then we'll go to the 9th. And we see that a lot of fortune with Chiron in the 10th. Which planet rules Leo? That's the sun. So then we go to where this person's sun is placed. It's placed in the 12th house in Virgo, conjunct Jupiter. Okay, so this gives a different type of idea, and Mercury is here as well, conjunct the sun. So the house and sign of the planet that rules the house, primary house that we're looking at, okay, in this case the 10th house and Leo, which is the sun, which is in the 12th, that will be the primary way in which this person fulfills that potential energy of career/public identity. Okay. Right? So that will be how it comes to fruition. So this is interesting because it's in the 12th house. So 12th house rules the superconsciousness, the 5D, the imagination, okay, the dimensions beyond that of physical reality. Also God, spirit, religion, okay? Spirituality, generally speaking, manifestation, all those types of principles, okay, the unknown parts of human existence in the higher realms. So this person actually could have or will receive his ability to do these things, to be in the public eye in a spiritual way, or in a way of understanding consciousness, perhaps healing principles as well, because Mercury's here conjunct the sun. So this person will have opportunities to be in the public eye by learning and understanding. Also, this is in Virgo too, which is ruled by Mercury, okay? The spiritual principles of consciousness, of perhaps spirituality, generally speaking, or religion, depending. And this person will actually be able to have many opportunities come to him through that context as well, because Jupiter's here. So the more this person, and Jupiter's also the ruler of Sagittarius, by the way, which is ruled by the ninth. So it's all connected here that this person is meant to be some type of consistent learner or advocate or even teacher of spiritual principles, or have a mastery of spiritual principles, or could be religious or spiritual principles, or understanding of consciousness and the laws of physics, right? That enable him to show up, that allow him or give him the opportunity to be able to show up. This could be something as odd as like him manifesting these opportunities or learning how to manifest and putting into practice, because again, Virgo here is about putting things into work, putting things into motion, right? The practice of it, putting these spiritual principles into practice, okay, that he's learned through his experiences, or he also contains naturally, right? With the sun here, he naturally exuberates. And what I would guess is because sun is here with Jupiter, that the more he expresses these principles, the more that he puts those out to the world, right, and shines his light of knowledge here, the more he will actually attract and be allowed, right, to show up in the public eye and express himself in this creative / artistic / emotional way in the public eye. Okay. So I would say this person has a very different, right? If I was advising, you have a very different path of career success than most people. And then we're not even through the whole thing, right? But right off the bat, we can see that's how we link everything. So we look at the houses, the sign, okay? The other thing is Chiron's here in Leo, all right? So definitely I would say his career in the public eye will actually have a healing effect on people while also healing his own wounds internally. Okay, Chiron is the wounded healer. So wherever that's at in your chart, whatever house that's in, that's where you feel the most like taken away from or slighted in your life experience, or wounded, essentially. That because you've had that experience, you become the most capable healer or facilitator for others who have that same pain, right? It's like you gain the experience through the wounding itself. So this person will definitely, I see, once he has healed and is healing through his fears of showing up in the public eye, will be able to help others stand in their greatness. Leo here. Definitely, I would say some type of empowerment demonstrator here. Okay. Now you can, here's the thing about that is, again, and this is why I love astrology, you can apply that to a number of different fields, whether that's someone showing up, in a public venue and speaking, or in a play, or in a commercial, or, some type of artistic demonstration. There's a number of different ways this person could actualize this potential life path. But astrology will give you the basic energy to understand in order to unlock clarity about what that is, so that this person can actually practice doing those things. So I would say this to this person, well, if you just practice your continued cultivation, demonstration, and expression of the spiritual principles that you know and have coming to you innately from the 12th house, that will naturally lead you somehow, some way to being in the public eye, right? Which will lead you to your career opportunities. Okay. Does that make sense, everyone? So, like you could answer me. Yeah, like you could speak back to me. Does that make sense? Okay, so then we said, okay, it's helpful as well, right? So we'll take a look at, so moon is in Cancer. So Cancer is ruled by the moon. So ruling planet of the ninth is in, ruling planet of the ninth is Mercury, because it's actually, the ninth house starts here in Gemini. So Mercury is in Libra here in the 12th, conjunct the sun. So it's almost like everything we said, right? It's like doubled down or tripled down on that one direction, which is why I just felt that so strongly. Like it was like, if he does that, everything else will fall into place. You know what I'm saying? Let's take a look at the 6th house really quickly. Again, I want to make sure these videos are brief, informative, and impactful for you guys, so you can not be overwhelmed, but know exactly where to look and how to go about it. So 6th house here is relatively empty. We do have the planet Earth here. This is the planet Earth. You can turn that on in any of the charts you get. Earth to me is about what your earthly mission is from a spiritual perspective as well. So what your intended quote unquote consequences are for your existence on Earth and how you'll impact the planet tangibly. So this person definitely came here, 6th in Pisces with Earth here, on a spiritual mission to impact the lives of people by showing up with a mastery of spiritual principles and demonstrating that in an artistic, creative, and fun way in the public eye. Perhaps that bring about the emotions of love, Juno here, relationship, and or empowerment when it comes to those principles. So very, very interesting here. And no, this is not me. Those of you guys that are asking, you might guess this is not me. This is not me. Okay, I know there's maybe some some similarities here, but no, it's not me. I'm letting the charts choose themselves at random, by the way. So if you wonder how I'm choosing these charts, I'm just going down the list of like all my hundreds of clients that I've done over the past years and just choosing one at random. That's basically what I'm doing. No other prep than that. Finally, let's look at the second house, okay? Also noted that, Jupiter and Neptune, okay? Neptune's the modern ruler of Pisces here. So Neptune's here in the 3rd. So that's around communication and mastery of communication here, but also maybe in a channeling-like manner because it is in, it is Neptune in the 3rd, okay? So Neptune in the 3rd is like a channeler, natural channeler. In Capricorn, though, in a way that can be practically understood, right, and assimilated or serve some practical purpose. So this person is definitely very spiritual in nature, but also has a very practical side to him, you can see, because we got these planets in Virgo. Okay, we got Neptune here, which rules the 6th, in Capricorn in the 3rd. So good balance there. But second house, Pluto here. Pluto's here. Okay, second is in Scorpio. It's ruled by Pluto and Mars traditionally. So Mars is in the 9th. So this person's primary work points are very connected, you can see. When you start to connect the dots and patterns, right? When you look at enough charts, you see, okay, this is all connected. It's all the same theme. Okay, so Pluto here, what does Pluto mean? So Pluto is actually a very important planet to know about. This is probably for another video, but it's where your juiciness, your zest, your passion, your excitement for life, like what makes life actually worth living for you, is Pluto. So the very interesting and ironic part of this whole thing is this person can do everything I mentioned and have the public opportunities and have this and have that, and that still won't feel like enough unless this person, sorry, I knew my alarm was going to go off of a session coming up. That still won't be enough to make this person feel fulfilled until they're finding ways to either and both and make money, second house, direct income from these things. So if this person's just doing everything for free and giving it all away, it's gonna feel bad, man. Okay, that's because Pluto is here in Scorpio, so it's like that's a hard thing to just pass up. Like that's an important point to this person's soul for whatever reason. So it's balancing those two things for this person. Yeah. The other thing is Mars here. So Mars is in the Cancer of the 9th house. So this person definitely will need to take a stand or take a pride, I would say, or make it a point to know his worth and to allow these opportunities to feed him financially. And also, second house is our values, to allow him to express his principles or allow that money financially to help determine his principles in life. Because second house is also our self-confidence slash value slash how we define how we show up in the world. Second house helps the first house. First house is how we show up physically. Second house is our principles around showing up. Third house is how we communicate those principles. So anyways, guys, that is what I have for today. This video got cut off a little short because I do have a session in like 3 minutes. So I apologize for that. I shouldn't probably make videos, in that, rushed manner, but still let me know if you got value from today's video, what you enjoyed about it, what your experience was, what types of content you'd like to see moving forward from here. Okay. And also questions. If you have questions right now, I have some time and availability to answer some questions in the comments. So please feel free to ask your questions in the comments or leave your experience. And I look forward to making more videos just like this to help you find yourself, step into that next career path, and or sole purpose, and really find yourself along the way. So I hope this is helpful, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.